Okay, there's a lot of history associated to historic European fencing. When we actually do have a physical class together, I'll get into that. I'm interested in you folks knowing about the history. So for today, we're going to jump right into technique, and the first thing you need to know is guards. So in the old Germanic tradition, in the Lichtenauer school, the four oldest guards out of the 13th century are like this: a high guard ox called the bull, like this. Note the thumb assisting the back of the blade. The other high guard, which is called vom Tag, or of the day, also called the falcon guard, middle high guard, this, or like that, like this, or like that, and two low guards, the plow, that, and the fool, alba, like this, with the other foot in front, like this, or like that. The fool was called the fool presumably because from there you're not threatening any part of the enemy. Any of the other guards, the sword is pointing at some place of the opponent, but in the fool it's a completely defensive guard. Another guard that we're gonna show and use today, and the names change a little bit depending on century and location, is what we in our school are going to call the guard of the roof, which is like this. There you go. Very comfortable guard. We'll use it a lot in fighting and tourneys. Okay, another guard that you're going to use a lot is called the iron gate or the iron door, like this, like that, directly with the blade facing your opponent's face, like this, or like that. And we're going to use it in these techniques. Now, when we're in our guard, we look for our distance, and now we're going to just rehearse very slowly the basic attacks and the basic parries. We're going to just practice what is called direct parries, not inverse parries, and I'll get into that in the next class. So, my son is going to attack me now in seven places, very slowly. On top, top right, top left, middle right, middle left, low right, and low left. And I will defend very, very slowly and with direct parries, just putting my sword, my steel, in the way of his blade. You'll notice that I'll try always to take care of my edges, that the edges don't hit on edge. Of course, he's going to try to hit me with his edge because he's trying to cut me, but my edge is I'm going to try to get it away from his cut. So very slowly, from here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Besides those exercises about basic attack and defense, it's also good to rehearse positioning for distance. For example, sometimes the best defense is just not being where the sword falls. Now, if he does any of the attacks before, another option for me is to just not be there. Ataca por ejemplo arriba. So that's one way. Now I'm going to attack him, and he's going to be out of my distance. Okay, in the Lichtenauer tradition, normally the foot goes forward that accompanies the strike. In other words, if I'm going to strike from the right, I'm putting my right foot forward. If I'm going to strike from the left, I'm putting my left foot forward. That way the blow has the highest possible force. So now you can rehearse the movements, the distances, and if you stay in a distance where the strike will be met with a parry, use the direct parries that you've seen slowly, and even if you use the soft swords, start thinking about turning them around to not use edges in your parry to take care of your edges.